Hello, people of the internet. Sergeant Celtic here, and I'm bringing you a new series called Fantastic Friday, where I just take a look at a game that I think was just superb in most every way, and I just sort of talk about why I think it did as well as it did, and probably just ramble on about certain things. Of course, by now you can see that I've chosen Far Cry 3 to be my first game in my new series, and for good reason. I mean, it's just a fantastic game. From the beautiful graphics, I mean, it looks amazing from the surprisingly, decent gameplay for a game that's open world. I don't usually get great controls from an open world game, at least not from the first that I'd experienced, which was Fallout New Vegas. This is sort of a great change up from that. I mean, it's also just a fun game to play. There's not much more you can put onto it than that. It's just enjoyable to play. And it's enjoyable to watch too, because it's just one of those games you can just watch and be amazed by what it is you're doing. But what it is the player is doing, I mean, of course. You're not watching it and playing at the same time if you're watching on YouTube. But it's just different because it is titled Far Cry 3. Now, most people would be like, okay, well, what about the other two Far Cries? Is the story connected? And quite simply, no. I mean, the story isn't connected in any way, shape, or form with either of the three Far Cries, which I think is the beauty of it. Because it means that if you want to get into Far Cry 2, you can go back and do that. It's a completely acceptable thing to do. It's a great game as well. Even though one thing I am glad they took out for Far Cry 3 is the gun jamming. It was a weird idea at the time, but you know what? I'm just going to try and not think about it too much. It was sort of unbelievable to me that they made this game. Because when I first heard about it, I was just amazed, just right off the bat. And then when I started playing it, finally, it took me a little while before I got a chance to get it. I was amazed that even I was surprised by how good it was. I mean, the story is just. I like the story. I mean, it doesn't seem like it is it's not like Mass Effect's narrative, but it does seem to be very entertaining. It's a very entertaining story to play through, and it's just, sensical, in my opinion at least, of how you would be if you're in the situation. It's not all completely stupid. Sure you're killing all these soldiers in a way that's almost unbelievable, but you would want to. I mean, you would really want to do all these things to save your friends and your family and your girlfriend, I might add. The only difference is this game you're actually doing it instead of just thinking about it while you're trapped. Pretty much. I mean, and it's not like the weapon selection is any bit limited. There's a decent amount of weapons to use in the game, and I'm constantly having to try and decide on what it is I actually want to use instead of just going along with it and using it. I constantly just switch up and just see what happens. I take the grenade launcher with me one time, and then I take a shotgun, and then I'll take a silenced 1911. You know what? Because I can. That's the beauty of Far Cry. And playing it, it's not as simple as you go across a certain landscape, do your missions, and you're done. You get so distracted, and it's easy to get distracted by the sheer amount of content to do. Take back all of the outposts that the pirates have captured over the island. You can go through and hunt animals. And there are all kinds of animals that you actually hunt down in this game. Sharks, Bengal tigers. I think that you can hunt down leopards, Komodo dragons. If you can think of it, more than likely there's some variant of it in the game for you to hunt. And it's not just there to hunt for the sake of hunting for fun. You're hunting to create, you're hunting to craft all these things that you need to use in game. Like, if you want to build a holster to carry more weapons, that's fine. Go and hunt two tapirs. But you're going to find distractions even while you're doing that. You're going to find two pirates, messing with some innocent people, and you're going to be like, no, you don't need to do that, and you stop them. They're going to find just, it's sort of random sometimes, this kind of stuff you see and what happens, but it's just you make your decision to help them or to just go on about your day. And I just don't know. I just don't know how they managed to make a game that was this much fun and had this much content. I mean, I think this rivals Skyrim. Skyrim with guns is not a completely stupid quotation. It's actually pretty believable when you're actually playing the game. Because it is a lot like Skyrim, in my opinion. It does feel very similar in idea. Even if there's definitely differences. One, there's guns. I mean, that's pretty much the biggest difference you can name right off the bat. There's guns, it's present day, there's not dragons. But, I mean, it does feel like both games are just sort of working off of each other. In the fact that they both have great open worlds that you want to explore and that you want to play through just a little bit more every time you're playing. It's one of those games where you're just like, alright, I'm going to turn it off now after this one mission. And you keep saying that after every mission. I'll turn it off after one more mission. After one more mission. You just keep doing that until you realize I've spent 8 hours of my life playing Far Cry 3 and just not wanting to stop. Because it's just that much fun. It's just that entertaining. Of course, you can level up your character as well as with any great open world RPG. And I consider this like an open world RPG shooter for people who don't understand that. That's sort of what I consider it. But, I mean, it's just so surprising that they were able to fit all of this content into this game. They were able to do an amazing story. They were able to give us a cooperative that I'm actually willing to play. And they gave us a multiplayer that was serviceable. Is it amazing? And is it still being played like, Call of Duty's multiplayers are? I doubt it. Is it worth checking out? Definitely. Is it fun? Again, definitely. The co-op, if you want to hang out with some friends and play Far Cry 3 with friends, then it's a great idea. It's serviceable. Again, everything is serviceable. It's not like any modes here, it's not like any sort of mode that you can play is useless. It's not like any mode here is something you're like, well, they could probably just get rid of that and I wouldn't care at all. Because this little part of you is probably telling you, yeah, I would care a little bit. Just a little that they got rid of it. Because I can hang out with my buddies in Far Cry 3. Sure, it's not an open world. They just sort of have missions set up for you, but it's a simple fact if you get to hang out with your friends and just play Far Cry 3, there's no more explanation needed, really. I don't understand all of the people who are like, Far Cry 3, dude, that game sucks. And I hear plenty of people say that. I hear a lot of people who tell me Far Cry 3 is just a crappy game. I'm like, why is it? And it's just like, well, I already beat it a long time ago and just got rid of it. And I didn't want to play it after I beat it. So they think it sucks because you didn't want to play it after you beat it. Not every game is a Call of Duty clone. It's not like Call of Duty where you're going to play it for months and months on end. Sometimes a game is just there for the experience. You play it, you experience it, and you're happy you experience it. But afterwards, you're like, you know what, that was great. I think I can just go and find another great game to play. Or you end up playing Army of Two like I did. I mean, I don't understand all of the hate that Far Cry 3 garners, although really anything that's popular and or good will garner hate, so, hey, you guys are just saying it's a great game? Thanks. Because they are making a Far Cry 4. They've already said they're going to make one. When are they going to make it? How are they going to make it? I do not know. Would I like to know? A little bit. But I'm almost happy it's a surprise. The simple fact of I don't know what they're going to do yet. Although it's easy to assume they're not going to do the same thing as Far Cry 3 in terms of the characters. They're not going to have us play as Jason Brody again. And I can feel comfortable in saying that from the prior history. Again, of the fact that Far Cry, every game is separate. So whatever characters they decide to bring us, whatever ideas they decide to give us, whatever changes in environment, setting, and maybe even gameplay that they actually do, I'm completely supportive of whatever it is. As long as they don't change their entire genre to like, real-time strategy and do it horribly, I'm okay with that. If they can do real-time strategy and actually do it to where I would still play it, then why not? That's a good way to use a weekend up. I'm excited for Far Cry 4. I don't care what they do with it, really. I really don't care at this point. Because I know it's going to be great. It's just going to be amazing. I don't even have to explain it. It's just going to be a great game. Well, I think that's about all I've got for today, guys. Just tell me in the comments below what you think about Far Cry 3. Did you guys like Far Cry 3? If you did, go ahead and tell me why. If you didn't like Far Cry 3, I'd like to hear why on that too, because I do love to hear how people hate on this game. It's a little surprising, but most people do it for some reason. Next game in the Fantastic Friday series will be on Metro 2033. It's going to be a lot shorter of a video, though, because I was just like, I'm going to record till I die, and I died in like about 3.5 minutes. So it's going to be a rather quick gameplay on that. Although it's going to be really quick for me to talk about why I like it so much, because there are definitely issues with the game, even if I do think it's fantastic. I also plan on doing, Mediocre Monday. I'll be releasing that, of course, on Monday, and it'll be on Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. I don't think I have much of an explanation as to why I think that game is mediocre. You guys are probably thinking the same thing I am on why. I might have a couple new things to bring up on it, but for the most part, I think we agree. And near the end, I'm probably just unhappy in the fact that I just sort of go off on it. I also am bringing another episode of my series, Will It Suck or Will It Rule? And I'll be doing that on Evolve. Of course, I'll be playing it over some Left 4 Dead 2 gameplay. And, I hope you guys enjoy that. I enjoy making that series because I get to look at games that haven't come out yet, sort of my own version of just doing a preview, just sort of giving my opinion whether I think it'll be any good or not. And I find that really fun. But, I've given you guys both a channel update as well as an entire episode of a video in this one beginning of a new series. I hope you guys have enjoyed again. So if you really did like the video, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you're truly just enjoying what you're seeing here on my channel. I'm really hoping you guys are enjoying this. I'm enjoying making these videos. I can't imagine doing anything else with my time, really. So if you guys just keep hitting, if you guys just hit subscribe and you guys hit that like button, then who knows, maybe we'll go places. But you guys are always welcome here at my channel. Of course, you guys know what it's called by now. You guys are always welcome here at Club Celtic. I think I will see you guys later. I am just rambling on at this point. I'm just waiting until I died here because I'm an idiot. So, you know what? I will see you guys later.